without
what's
music.
Going on?
With music.
We're going to do this without music. They don't like our theme song.
They don't want us to come in with the intro.
No.
Check us out on our playlist, because we do have a playlist
on Spotify
for this.
With all of our theme music.
With all of our theme music. Because we got theme music.
We have theme music. IG not going to stop us. Y'all go over to Spotify.
Yeah. Go over to Spotify and check our theme music out for each episode. We like to have a song to just come in on.
Yeah, that ties into our topic for tonight. It gets us in the mood. Yes. You know, that's what music does.
Yes. Yeah.
IG hating and whatever.
Bring us in. Yes.
Hating.
Hey, boo.
Okay. But tonight's song was Make Me Better by Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Check it out. Good theme song for tonight.
Yes, absolutely. She makes me better. We make each other better, right? And then we also had another song tonight, which was Partner, Let Me Upgrade You by Beyonce.
By Beyonce.
Because we out here out upgrading folks, right? you good, right? You're good, but it takes a good woman to upgrade, right? We're going to talk about that tonight. It takes a good woman who already know her stuff to just kind of add that little to upgrade you. Check that out. Check them lyrics out with Beyonce saying about Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z was good.
What?
But Beyonce upgraded him.
No,
out of my cake, watch. Dimples in your necktie. What? Hermes briefcase.
I don't know if Jay-Z was good by himself, though.
But Beyonce upgraded him.
He didn't really start. People started looking at him like, oh, well, maybe he is kind of attractive after Beyonce.
I'm just saying. After Beyonce. Because who was looking? If he wasn't with Beyonce,
still kind of camelish.
But if he wasn't with Beyonce, what? Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's true. That is true.
I'm just saying, partner, let me upgrade you.
No, that is true. People do.
You good all by yourself, but we a force when we together.
I hear that.
I'm just saying.
I hear that. People do start looking better when they do. People that are attractive.
They do.
It's like,
those are facts.
Maybe it's his personality, but whatever it is, it's working.
Right. Yes, Jamila. Yes.
Jamila, right, because he is not cute.
Yes. Facts.
No, nobody was checking
Beyonce freaking upgrade him.
No.
She upgraded him.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a fly partner to bring you into the light.
Absolutely. I'm just saying. We out here upgrading folks.
We got receipts for that.
It's both. You better tell him. You better tell him on this. Girl, I'm just saying.
We specialize in the glow up.
We specialize in that. Okay.
Let me stop tonight.
Bring it in.
Acting up.
Bring it in. All right.
So hey y'all.
Welcome to Your Good Girlfriends.
This is episode 29 of Your Good Girlfriends. Shahara and I was just talking earlier, like we cannot believe we are coming up on 30 episodes of Your Good Girlfriends. Okay. So tonight is episode 29. Next week is episode 30 and will be our finale episode for this season. Next week will be our last episode for season 3 of Your Good Girlfriends. And it is also our 1-year anniversary of Your Good Girlfriends. Like, we cannot even believe we've been doing this for a year, like a whole year. So next week, please tune in with us. Please join us. We are going to have a finale like you've never seen before for our 1-year episode and 1 year of Your Good Girlfriends and our 30th episode of Your Good Girlfriends. So we are excited. Thank you guys for rocking with us all season. We are excited to come back for season 4. We're trying to figure out if we're going to take a break or not.
We'll poll the people.
We'll poll y'all later. Y'all let us know if y'all want to break or if y'all just want to keep it rolling, because we here.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you guys. Okay, so we getting ready to get into it. And I believe we have a guest. Listen, y'all saw our guest?
Yeah.
I know y'all saw the flyer.
I saw it.
We are going to welcome our guest to the stage. I think he has tapped in for tonight. He has been one of our most requests for season 3 of Your Good Girlfriends. And we are happy to have him back tonight for this topic on getting it together and trying to find your life partner. So we are going to... Hello!
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm trying to make sure my camera is straight, so I apologize. I was running late.
No worries. No worries at all.
Do you have your volume up? I think I hear a little echo.
It's an echo?
Yeah, a little bit. You don't have your AirPods in, do you?
No, I don't. Should I?
Okay. That sounds a little better.
Close.
I'll check my side too.
You were good.
All right.
Thank you. You came dressed for the occasion.
I mean, you know, I had to, you know, get it right, get it tight for the ladies of, you know, this podcast. You guys are doing a great job. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. You know, I had to put on the good clothes for the ladies so I can match y'all decorum over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we are so happy to have you. I know I've been watching you this week, and I know that you've had a lot to say about this topic and your perspective. And I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. And so we just wanted to have you on tonight, of course, to grace us with your presence and your perspective.
Sure. I'm honored to share. It's all about love and light and support and just trying to make sure that, you know, we, you know, create more couples, man, happy couples and successful couples.
Oh, absolutely. We're trying to make connections and clarify some things.
And we are trying to make connections, okay? Key connections.
Right.
One teach, one save one. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Shahara and I have come up with this list of things that we feel. Now, this is the disclaimer. You want something to disclaimer? The disclaimer is.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead because you hold.
Somebody say I need some more light. I need to adjust my light, so I'm gonna fix my light.
That's okay. We're gonna talk about.
Those people trying to be sexy. They say
no.
It's stuff, you know.
He's trying to be sexy. So while he's fixing his light, we're gonna get into the disclaimers.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the disclaimer is, look at him. We are speaking from our experiences, right?
Yes.
We are not speaking from a place of non-love. We love y'all. So we speaking from what we've experienced and what we've gone through.
That's right.
And we are telling you some things that are hopefully will resonate in your shanana and your spirit, right?
That's right.
So we just really want you all to just listen. You decipher what's for you and what's not for you. That's the disclaimer in this.
Yeah, and then also, I'm sorry, Boo, to cut you off.
No.
Also, we want to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
Like, if we missed anything, if you disagree, if you want to add anything, you see the question mark down there. You can always type in your question or your comment, and even request to come live with us. We would love for you to come live. Chime in with Howard. Look at him. Okay, we need some backup in here. That's right. That's right.
Yes. So that's the disclaimer, ladies. We've gone through some things, and we're not putting anything out there that we're not telling you that we can't back up. No, we got receipts for this.
We have receipts for this stuff.
Yeah.
Proven to work clearly.
Because look at this ring. The rock can't even fit in the purse. Where is it? Okay, I'm just saying. You got another one? Just saying. Okay, so yeah, we only speaking from what we know.
All right, that's a disclaimer.
That's a disclaimer. All right, he's
back.
He's back. He's trying to work on his lighting.
That's all right. That's all right. Everybody need a little smoke.
Yeah.
Need a little light. You know, I get it. I get it. After that video, we saw earlier.
Better?
It's still sexy, but it's all right. It's all right. We see you though. We see you. We see you. We see your face. Yeah, you're good.
Yes, you're good.
You're good. All right. So we just put our disclaimer out there that, you know, we're only speaking from experience, right? We're only speaking from our place. So we want to give our list of what we think on both sides, female and male, should have before looking for
either have or try to at least level up on before trying to find a life partner, or even get in the mindset, you know, like this is kind of what it takes, you know, to get you to that place.
Yeah.
Because people aren't ready. I don't think people are ready.
Right.
You know, they just out here thinning. You know, they don't have anything to back it up with. Like, you know,
have
examples.
Well, I think the first question is about the vetting question. And I was having a conversation earlier today about like the process of vetting and how we are not taught to vet by our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents. And a lot of times it's not so much how we treat people, it's more so who we treat is what's causing our relationships to kind of fail. So I think ultimately we need to have a better process of vetting. And then once you decide this person is worthy, and then, the games can begin. But, we have to vet on a few things. Like, I think you should vet on, their, life plans, relationship, on if they want to, be married soon, what's their timeline, just all those questions that people wait to ask them up front and just eliminate, do self-elimination. And if somebody feels too much pressure by a simple question of, do you want to get married? Then that means they don't want to get married. You know what I mean? So we should be very direct up front and then let it flow. I think we let it flow and then we try to get direct. And then I think that's where a lot of the issues come from.
So I know we had you on previously and you were talking about your 60-day rule. So it's
90.
Oh, 90. Sorry, 3 months. You're 3 months.
No. So it's not so much of a rule. It's more so I think it's a good time frame to decide, who this person is and who are you with this person. So it's not like it's not a deadline, but I think it's a great time for people to reassess where you are so you don't waste your time and waste the other person's time.
That's right. And so you're doing that in that 3-month period, right?
Yeah, you're paying attention, asking the hard questions, pushing a little bit, trying to apply some pressure, because a lot of people don't really go through those tough conversations until after they made love and exchange gifts and went on a couple of trips. Now you asking about my values, like what? Like we was just banging on Turks and Caicos. Now you're talking about nah. So that's supposed to be the point of the first question. So after that, you can kind of let things rock out.
That's right. So with that, with what you just said, as far as sex, because we talked about this before, right. Are you okay with waiting to the end of the 90-day period to have sex after you kind of vetted all of those other things?
I mean, it all depends, but I'm not one to let someone hold something over my head. But if it's all about the vibe and it's all about the frequency we're on. I've dated people where I waited a couple of months, some a couple of days. So it all depends on the vibe and where you guys are. But I will say, when I did move too fast, it probably it didn't go the distance. So you got to be an adult about who you are and how you move emotionally and
it's not a race, it's a marathon.
It's not a race, it's not a marathon, but also we're paying for this race that we're in, so we don't have time to keep paying for all day trying to see what it's hitting for.
That's true. And I want to touch on your point about pain because I know that was literally displayed across your IG this week about how men are courting women, they're paying for these dates, they're putting out money for dinner, they're being chivalrous, they're doing all of these things, right?
Right.
And women are just recipients.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be.
And there's no real reciprocity, or some don't really do the reciprocity right away. They want to wait until y'all are together or committed or married, to really show the reciprocity. So your point this week was like, show the reciprocity right away. Like if I'm doing all of these things for you, let me see you do some things for me as well. Correct?
Right. And I'm talking to my best friend, Mike. We had conversations for a long time about, how in the dating game, it's a hurry up. Let me show you who I am. And then the guys are waiting. By the time we end up getting, understanding who you are. And by the time we understand, just how we vibe with you, we start making decisions whether or not we want to be with you or not. But by that time, you've already locked in. And now we're trying to see what the whole full package is. And I think if you start to show who you are up front, can you cook? Are you catering? Are you nurturing? How are you in the bedroom? Are you affectionate? Like, instead of saying, oh, you have to make me feel worthy and make me feel like I'm comfortable. But we're comfortable as soon as we meet you. We're giving you money. We're giving you time as soon as we meet you. So we're deeming you as worthy because we started at 100%. And women start men at like 50 or 20 or 10%. We got to work our way up. And by the time women work their way down, we're like, oh, shoot, I'm not into this. And by the time you work your way up, y'all like, oh, what happened? And we're like, oh, it took too long for me to find out who you were. You were holding back.
Okay. So, hold on, let me just pause. There's a lot of people joining in right now, and I see all of the joining coming in. So if there is any of our ladies that have tapped in with us tonight that would like to come live to give your perspective or your feedback, please hit the request. Also, if you would like to comment or ask a question to us directly or to Howard, there is a bubble down at the bottom with a question mark. You are welcome to do that as well. We are looking for folks to come on with us tonight. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Go get your lip gloss on and your lipstick. Mr. John would love to meet you. We would love to see you. So, all right. Okay, go ahead, Shaw.
So I'm going to just say this.
Yes.
First of all, we don't come in with the guard up. We don't come in like,
Women don't come in
with the guard up like, let me see how many dinners I can get. Not all of us are like that.
Okay, I got a question. So how about those that are? Because we still have to sift through that. Like, I think what I would like to do.
For those who want to just the ass, and so they give us a dinner for ass.
Yeah, but I think what we don't do enough is set context, right? So the context of the woman I'm dating is a woman that's mature, intelligent, et cetera, right? So I think when we start these conversations, we don't start with who we're talking about. We just give this general statement, and people that's listening be like, "Oh, that don't apply to me." So
yeah, but
the situations I'm referring
let me
to.
Clarify something. Like, even though like we tend to think that a lot of guys are putting that out there. You buy me a dinner, something's going to come in return. Right. Whether you buy me, you take me, whatever level of dinner you're taking me to, Maestro's, okay, so what's happening after this dinner? What you trying to do? So we already trying to figure you out to see what you're trying to do. While you're trying to figure us out, we're trying to figure out what level you are. So you gotta give us
again, if you have those conversations up front, if you take time to have a few conversations, like really get into that person's head before you go to Maestro's, you already know what it's hitting for by the third martini. So like a lot of times, like, and for me at this point in my life, I really take time to assess that person's mental capacity and emotional capacity before I sleep with them, because I feel like I have to be responsible, even if they can't be responsible themselves. I have to be responsible for them, and that was a level of like manhood that my mentor shared with me. He was like, "Yeah, Howard, if you know you have this effect on women, then you got to be responsible." I'm like, "Why? They're adults. If they play the game, then it's on them." But if you have that maturity aspect and you know who you are and your influence, like women, so you turn a blind eye, but women, the power of your sexuality, right? So if you turn it up too much, it'll go the wrong way. Just like men, we know of our impression and our charisma, and I know I could turn it on like nobody else, but I have to be accountable to what happens after that. So I saw you bat your eye, but it's funny when we make these scenarios and flip it, you're like, oh, I get it now. That's the thing. Like we have to start looking at things from both sides of the table.
We do.
It's not just me versus you.
I'm just trying to challenge you because we want to hear from you, because I'm trying to get something out of you. Like we see one perspective. So when I give you something, I'm just looking for you to give me something back.
So there's some questions. So somebody said, when should this happen? And I believe these conversations happen way before you even meet face to face. Like do a FaceTime. If you do face to face to see this person who they say you are, cool, but go back and have some real conversations. It don't take.
What if he ain't trying to FaceTime you?
Say it again.
What if he's not trying to FaceTime you? He just he ain't accepting your FaceTime.
I don't know many men who don't want to FaceTime a woman they're about to meet up with, because men are catfished and played and manipulated with pictures and images and angles and etc. way more than women. So I got to push back on that one.
You think?
No, it's a fact. Like we can do a polling. It's a fact.
Okay,
it's not even a conversation. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you are saying, Howard, you're saying that men are catfished more by women than women are, because they're filtering, they're doing all these little.
I mean, you already have the baseline of makeup, right? It's already an art, correct? And then you add on the lighting, the filter, the Spanx, the lace, the lip fillers, the contour, and like it's art. I get it. But art is subjective, right? Art is subjective, but decent looks aren't. Art is subjective, but decent looks aren't. So I just want to see you decent. You ain't got to be made up. I just want to see what you look like so I can really fall in love with you.
Authentic.
Because I can't fall in love with a costume. I can't fall in love with a clown. We're going to both be in the circus.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Because I'm over here telling my boys, like, yo, check her out. She like this. And then when they see her, the math don't add up, and we gotta go back to grade school and know how to count. So my thing is, let's be your authentic self, as uncomfortable it may be. And if it's uncomfortable, you're not ready yet. You're just not ready. Because it's about being a whole self when you meet that person, so y'all can be two instead of y'all trying to make one. That shit don't make sense.
That's true.
Those are
I
facts.
agree.
You tackle something.
I totally agree. And there are women, I will say, that are not comfortable with not wearing makeup. They're not comfortable without a weave or a wig or, you know, whatever. They're just not comfortable. I mean, there's women, even married women.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay, why wouldn't a woman be comfortable without those things?
Because they think that you want something else. They see what they think beauty is, right?
Okay, other sister, what do you think?
I was going to say, I think that they have just become comfortable with what they see in the mirror. And it's the makeup, it's the weave, it's the wigs, it's all of this other stuff. They don't even really
It becomes their brand. It becomes their brand. And you can't not have a flat Coca-Cola, right? The bubbles got to be popping in Coke. So when y'all go out, y'all be like, oh, shit. This shit ain't, I got to make my bubbles tight. And if you already started with a glass of tea, you put some ice in it. That's all you need. You don't need much. Just keep it simple. Keep it classy. I promise you, like, more men than not. And again, it's not even about looks when it comes to becoming a wife or becoming wifed up. It's about how you treat that person. Because the prettiest girl don't always get the husband. It's about her just accommodating him and being a partner.
But the initial, you got to be attracted to her off the jump. Don't say it's not about
that. No, it's not.
I didn't say that. I said be your authentic self. You gotta feel beautiful as your authentic self. If you don't feel beautiful as your authentic self, then you're not ready for anybody. Like I want them to be whole first, because I don't want to have to continue to reinforce and to continue to uplift. Like I want to take it higher. I don't want to have to build from the ground up.
Okay, but before you can even get there with that woman, you have to be attracted to her. And so absolutely. 9 times out of 10, if you just see her at the grocery store or wherever, she's probably going to have a wig on or a lace front or makeup, or you're going to see her in that
I'm going to tell you this. I just walked to the grocery store a few minutes ago. I'm always matching. I'm always presentable. You never know who you're going to meet.
That's right.
And I do it for myself because I want to look down and make sure everything is on point. Now, I'm not putting a two-piece suit or nothing like this, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm literally want to be presentable, even if I shake somebody's hand or whatever the case is. So don't be lazy. Just always be your best self. That's it.
That's right. But the point that I was making is that the makeup, the hair, all of that is what draws a man before they can even get to know you, before they can even ask you.
See, we skipping steps. Our grandparents didn't have all of that. They had their little style. They were clean. They were smelling good. They didn't have all that. Like we're overdoing it. We're overdoing it.
But
you going back to beauty. When you define beauty, every time you define attraction, you talk about makeup. You don't talk about the presence. You don't talk about being neat. You talk about makeup.
What is okay? So tell me this. Tell me this. If you see a young lady in the grocery store, what is going to make you want to go up to her and say, "Hey, how are you? My name is Howard." What is?
Are you ready? I'm a guy, right? So that's the best place because she ain't with her girls.
Okay.
We ain't no loud music, and we're literally just doing something we would do every day. Okay. So that's the best place to approach somebody in a regular format. When you got the music on and the venue, when your girls around, and egos are inflated and all this jazz is popping. When you're in the grocery store, you just in here going about your business. Hello, how you doing? You're polite, you're decent. And you can also see how people treat the cashier.
What is attracting you to her?
What
is making you approach her though? What is making you approach her?
Me seeing her.
Okay.
We look at the full package. You guys are focused on here. We look at everything.
What is the full package? That's what I'm trying to understand. What's the full package?
The full package is the sneakers, is the flip flops, is the sundress, is the t-shirt, whatever she got on. That's who she is. That's her authentic self. So I'm a bang with that before I bang with a, red bottom, et cetera, like, because I know what I'm getting right here. With the red bottom, you don't know what you're getting when you get a white cloth, a white face cloth when you take them home or whatever. I'm telling you, I've been there, done that since I was in my 20s. So these are from experiences, and even women appreciate just seeing that guy in his regular format. How you doing? Like, even the women I've spoken to, they've appreciated just seeing a guy just walk up to them at a park, at a coffee shop. They love that.
So you say you're not into the girls with the red bottoms? Are you? I am also.
I mean, I like versatility, but I don't like to feel like you feel like you don't have to have that on to feel like you're sexy or comfortable. I mean, sexy is not your clothes. Isn't how you just carry yourself and your voice, like the tone. Like some women, when I hear their voices, it gives me peace. It gives me comfort. And some, when I hear their voices, I want to go the other way.
What is it?
It's just the nature of who we are as human beings. And that's what I'm trying to get to. We're going up here about the makeup and this and the bottom. Like, no, it's the nature. Like, how do you feel around that person? Like, how did it make you feel? Like, are you at ease? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel like you like what's the vibe? And that's what we're talking about. And the vibe goes back to spirit. What's their spirit like?
Yeah, I get all of that. And I totally agree with you, and I think that's great and awesome. But before we can even get there, to hear her voice, to get your piece, all of that great stuff, you have got to be attracted to her, right?
Initial.
Yeah.
What
is so difficult about me saying that if I see a woman in some tights, some leggings, some sneakers, and one of them Lululemon, whatever joints, I'm going to pull up on her. If she got a baseball cap on, I'm pulling up on her ASAP. All day.
Ladies, I hope y'all are listening. Get down to the Lululemon and get you get you a set and a baseball cap. Don't go to the grocery store.
Bougie body baseball cap.
Get your lip gloss and your mascara. No makeup, ladies. Okay? Get down to the
your
grocery
lip gloss
store.
and your mascara.
Get down there.
Get it.
Okay.
They want you natural. Let's see.
The heart.
Natural.
Okay, let's see. KG says beauty is subjective. People are extremely insecure these days based off of public perception. This is creating a doppelganger culture, and it's unfortunate.
Yes.
That
Instagram is fooling y'all. Instagram is fooling y'all.
That is.
It is. It really is, KG. And I appreciate that comment. And here's the thing. And I appreciate men for now speaking up and just sharing how they feel. Like, there's always a lot of comfortable spaces for women to share how they feel and what they want from a guy and how they want to be treated. But now men are starting to speak up, and it's making the conversation different now. So, I appreciate men who kind of share. But also what I'm learning as I'm maturing is like how to speak and how to kind of phrase things a little more for the audience I'm speaking to. When I talk to guys, I talk a little different than women. But I'm still going to be masculine. I'm still going to be a little aggressive with my tone. I'm still going to have that fervor.
But you're right.
But you know what I mean? But I'm not going to, kind of whitewash the conversation. I'm speaking to someone that communicates differently than I do at times.
I am grateful for the things that you are saying tonight, because I think women need to hear that.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take the wigs and the weaves and the makeup and the red bottoms. And
Listen. My homeboys would clown me because I was the guy that I wanted the natural hair chick for years. If she ain't had natural hair, I didn't even talk to her. My homeboy used to clown me like, man, they were like, yeah, you like DRE type chicks. I'm like, yeah, I do. Go burn some incense. Go put some candles on. Like I was that guy for years. Like, and I'm still that guy. I still like the natural hair. I still like to massage the scalp. All that stuff. I mean, that's a part of like affection and. I mean, my hair get rubbed sometimes.
I love it. You want some eucalyptus?
That probably feel bomb.
That might feel real on a bald head. Yes.
Have you had that on your head, eucalyptus?
No. I use.
You haven't found the right woman yet.
Found the right one.
I know. Listen. I ain't got a sandwich yet. You talking about eucalyptus? I'm trying to get a sandwich.
Let's talk about that. I can't. I'm tearing up a bit.
Let's talk about the sandwich. Okay.
So wait a minute. First of all,
we got a list.
We have a list. We created a list for both men and women that we feel that y'all should get or have before you even look for a Howard, a Pookie, or Ray Ray, or Jeremiah. This is the internal stuff. This is the internal stuff ladies and gents need to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we first said that you, number one, need to have a spiritual base. You need to have some morals.
Spirituality.
So, because if you ain't got no wisdom, you need some wisdom and a moral foundation.
That's the base.
That's the base. Because you need to know who is for you. And if you ain't speaking to your God about what is for you and not listening to your girlfriend who had something, you need to know what's aligned for you. Mm-hmm. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two,
like there's some questions in the chat too, by the way. I want y'all to miss the question.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pay attention to them. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead. I want to engage the audience because they showed up tonight. So.
Yeah, you can engage them, baby.
Yeah, no. I'll follow the questions. I'll I'll stop y'all.
It's 3 of us. Okay. All right. Number 2. Do you respect yourself?
Do you respect yourself?
Do you respect yourself? Because how you gonna expect somebody to respect you if you don't respect yourself?
That's true.
But what does that mean? But what does that mean? So go back and kind of give examples, because I think a lot of times we generalize these things and we like to put these, glowing cliches out. But let's go back to the first one and break it down for real.
So number 1, spirituality, mental and moral foundation. First of all, if you do not have a connection with your God and speak to yourself, your foundation on where you are and what you want, your wisdom, your spirituality, you cannot have any type of direction on where you want to go, period. Mm-hmm. Even if you need a mate, right? Like,
so I wholeheartedly believe that, you have to have your emotional IQ or your emotionality, all that stuff in check. You can be self-aware. A spiritual practice is key. I don't care if you, pray 5 times or 1 time a day or whatever you do, but you have something to keep you grounded. And I think a lot of times, we kind of miss how important it is in relationships. Going back to the vibes and the spirit and all that stuff like that, like that's pretty much your moral, like your moral ecosystem, right? So like that's how you define who you are as a man, as a woman, as a human being. And a lot of times, like, we're dating empty people because we don't take time, and we're afraid to broach the God conversation or the spirituality conversation.
Absolutely.
So, what I mean? I think first, and I appreciate you ladies for making that number 1 on your list, a spiritual foundation. Mental health is key. And
Absolutely.
I think 99% of us should be in therapy. I cannot wait to go to therapy.
Absolutely.
So I think that's just a level of just, self-care. We talk about self-care like, bags and spas and trips.
That's right.
But how about that mental self-care? How many hours, how many thousands of dollars do we put into our mind and we put on our bodies and on our passport?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like we need to kind of really think about the holistic aspect in that first category. So I'll let you all continue.
Yeah.
So
that is number 1.
And having a moral foundation. Do you what's your morals looking like? What you looking like morally? Okay.
Right.
All right. So next was respect. Do you respect yourself? Because if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect somebody else to respect you?
But that's subjective. So can you be a little more granular?
Boom.
So basically, I feel like you need to present yourself the way you want to be received. Okay? So like if you are, I hate to say this, but if you are very like, what is
just
the word
say it. We say
not loosely dressed, but
you just out here. Like you not even loosely, because your dress don't even have to, it's just how you act, how you present
that
yourself.
too. I was gonna go there too. I was gonna start with the way
how
you dress.
doesn't necessarily mean how you
it can be a little interesting. It can be very interesting. I've seen some Instagram profiles and I'm like,
girl, really?
Well, what? Why do you even have on the baby suit?
Do that? And why you even spray your legs like that?
But I'm looking for a life partner though. I mean, like, I don't understand. That doesn't translate well for me. So I can only imagine.
Stop being naked on social media.
Stop being naked on social media. So that's exactly where I was going. Who wrote that?
That was
KV. Stop being naked on social media. You will not have a premier masculine man and have a OnlyFans page or the equivalent on IG. I'm just saying it's mutually exclusive. Respect yourself is a big key. So that's where I was going.
So I do want to speak to that. So with freedom comes responsibilities, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So hypothetically, if there's a bird and he's a free bird and wants to do what the hell he wants to do and stay up north for the winter, what happens to that bird? Right? It's going to die because it's out of his environment, and there's consequences that come with being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, same thing with, the freedom of expression from body to sexuality to partners and etc. If you are going to make those choices, it comes with a level of responsibility. So you can do the slut walk, you can do all these other movements of empowerment, yet they still have consequences in this society. So with freedom comes responsibility. So you want to be free and emancipate yourself and all that other shit, cool. But just be prepared for the other side of that, which is the responsibility aspect. When we think about freedom, we think about just flying wild and just going all over the place. But again, if that bird goes north, when it's supposed to go south and sit the hell down and chill out and sunbathe, it's gonna die. So if we have men and women out here doing things that will put them in a position where they got to deal with their consequences as free and as whatever they want to be. They still got to deal with those consequences, whether it's having children early, whether it's whatever that case is. That's just that person's consequence.
Absolutely. So that ties into respecting yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And presenting yourself the way you want to be received.
Okay.
So number 3, heal yourself.
Heal.
How you going to be in a new relationship or trying to seek something and you trying to bring Pookie, Ray,
well, all your
hurt
trauma
into your new boo. You looking for something new, but you still ain't healed
from past relationships.
Your past relationship. You ain't healed.
Past relationships or even just past pain.
Pains, anything. You go out to dinner, you be like, you know what? Jacob used to do that.
Yeah, triggers. You got triggers all over the place.
You cutting your food and you automatically triggered about somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree, but you know, again, we're talking about heal yourself. I like to kind of be precise with our words and say we need to invest in our healing because we can't heal ourselves completely. You can only see so much of yourself. You look in the mirror, you can't see your back. So like we need to think about that concept about, oh, I'm healed, I'm whole. Nobody is completely healed until they sat with somebody professional crossing them, and not your minister, not your girlfriend, or somebody objectively and say, yo, this is how I feel, and they are able to help you kind of process that.
So yourself was subjective. So yourself meaning you choose who, how, and when you want, how you want to be healed.
Invest in your healing. That's all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So number 4, be true to yourself and know what you want, and don't be afraid to put that out there. Don't be playing hard to get. You out here playing hard to get, but you ain't being true to yourself. Like you really want them, but you playing games.
So the first statement was 1, and the second was like a 8.1. Can you go to the first statement?
Okay, so the first one was be true to yourself and know what you want, and don't be afraid to put that out there.
Okay, so that's a mutually exclusive statement from the second part, right? Okay. So the first part is know what you want, but also you got to know who you are. You can't want not what you not. Like you can't want something that you're not. It's impossible. It's a lottery, and I think a lot of us have a lottery mindset in how we go out dating and how we go out, you know, looking for our mate. It's if I am if I'm working out, then 9 times out of 10 somebody that's working out will be attracted to that and maybe gravitated towards that energy, right? But if I'm not working out, but I want somebody that's fit, but I'm eating Dunkin' Donuts and everything else, then how can I be that, you know, that I say I am and ask for the universe to bring that to me?
No,
so,
that's
you know, before we say, you know, you got to define what you want, the first step is you got to know who you are to require or to deserve what you want.
That's right. Absolutely. And that is one of the points on our list.
Yeah, we have basically,
you know, become the person that you want to date or you want to be with.
Absolutely.
You know, like if you are requiring him to be fit, are you fit?
Are you fit?
Right.
Are you going to the gym?
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's and for me that goes into play with the whole, you know, reciprocity of things. Like, you know, if
we're getting to that, Amber.
What did she say?
She said it's some other things like home, job.
Yeah, but that was the first conversation we had on the first at the prequel of this movie. We sat down on the phone. We had the FaceTime conversations. We went to the child home. Like that's a baseline, and we're not doing a baseline assessment of anybody before we date them anymore. We just go and date them, and then hope that this adds up and there's no surprises. Like any consultant, we baseline the situation and then we make an assessment. When we date, we try to date and then assess while we're trying to build the plane, fly it, gas it, oil it,
all at the same time.
Instead of saying, oh, do I want to be on this plane?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, going back to I think Amber said something about that. That's one of the first conversations you have.
Yeah. Okay. So the second part to that was stop playing hard to get. Like you out here playing on intentionally. Like you know you like the person, but then you playing hard to get for no reason. Like what are you doing?
I mean, so that's a cultural thing, and you know within the Black culture, you know we don't feel like, or women don't feel like they need to compete for their men anymore. Back in the day when you get married 2 generations ago, the women would tell you, okay, now you better make sure keep your man happy, man, doing this, doing that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now it's like time you get them, you're done doing the work. I heard so many stories of even married couples where they've gotten married in both parties. So it's not just the man or the woman, but right now we're talking about the woman. So I want to preface that because I know we have people saying, "What the men gotta do? What they got?" No, we're talking about women right now. This is advice to women, not advice to men, right? So as we go back to this whole, who is this person? All these, I got off track because I looked at the comments. Don't look at the comments.
I got the comments.
Yeah, she got the comments. There's 3 of us here.
So when it comes to like other cultures from the Asian to Hispanic to everywhere, they don't mind competing for the men because they know that there's a scarcity issue. We think that there's an abundance issue of black men out here, so we just lay back and think that playing hard to get is gonna make him think I'm different or more valuable. But at this point, we like, oh, we already figured that game out. The last generation told us. Here's the thing, like this generation has learned from 2-3 generations ago of men. And now we're adding up the math and like, oh shit, I'm valuable. Oh shit, I deserve to have my foot rubbed as often as she has her foot rubbed, whatever that case is. Men never felt comfortable expressing themselves in that capacity until recently because we have an amount of knowledge now that we can look back on and assess. Our fathers didn't have the knowledge that we have. So now we can make decisions differently than they can. You know what I mean? So we need to let go of our egos. You know what I mean? One reason why, women don't chase or women don't feel like they got to pursue or compete or even go after the guys because our egos are huge. As black people, we're beautiful. We're black is king, black girl magic. So I hear no humility in any of those statements, right? Therefore, that's going to spill into how we socialize and deal with one another. Oh, shit, I'm a high value male. Oh, shit, I'm a woman CEO. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. But who are you when you take off your title, you take off your all that stuff? You know what I mean? That's when I'm talking about no makeup. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, like when it comes to competing, I think it's more so literally it's about, your ego. It's about, and knowing that this is a scarcity situation. And if you really want it, go at it. Like, go get it.
All right. So I'm not sure if you were on our episode with the Chase and the Chaser. I don't think you were on the episode, but are you open to a woman approaching you?
I've been approached by women, many times, and
that's not a turn off.
Not turn off at all.
Okay. I mean, it's a turn off if you're not attracted to her, though.
But it's not even a turn. I'm not even turned on yet.
Okay.
So it's like, here's the thing, men learn how to deal with rejection at the age of 5. We write the letter, we try to ask the girl. So we're used to practicing how to deal with rejection, right? But then women, they don't have that same experience. So that's our privilege is pain at a very early age of somebody telling us no, that we really have a crush on and we write this letter for. That's an early pain. We just learn to live with and we deal with it. When women have to even contemplate, not even do it, contemplate the rejection, they can't even broach a hello. You know what I mean? And again, that's a regular function. And like women don't start to see reality until after like 35, 36, 37. That's when beauty is not a real commodity anymore. This is when time is ticking. This is when they really got to kind of focus in and be very intentional about every decision. That's when reality strikes. So, I'm trying to challenge women and men to be just real more realistic up front about who you are, about what you want, what you not bring to the table, but what you think your value is, and can you prove it? Can you define how you would get a man without using sex? And most women typically can't.
All right. So the next one is, what the heck is your purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? Like, what is your purpose on dating? It's a twofold thing. What is your purpose on looking for your mate? And what is the purpose that you even have for yourself? Like, do you even need to have somebody?
I mean, so, I'm very holistic. And so I always go back to alignment. And for me, the alignment starts, your purpose is your conversation with God. And then,
Absolutely.
And then you, and then your family, and et cetera, et cetera. And if your purpose is out of alignment, then everything else is going to be broken. So for me, that goes back to the earlier conversation about 20 minutes ago about self-awareness. If you're already self-aware, if you know who you are, know you're going, and done that work to define, where you're going in your life, your purpose is why you're sitting across from that person, because they should line up with your purpose.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to the next one. So finish your statement.
Yeah, yeah. So as we ask, why is my purpose here is a smaller function of what my purpose in being here on this planet. Because
Absolutely.
this person should align to why you're here. Right?
Absolutely.
Whether you're a cook, chef, whatever the case is, like that person should align to why you're here. So, alignment, purpose, we ask the third question for defining the first question is like, what is your purpose? And now, okay, what is your purpose being here?
Absolutely. All of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's good. That is good. Okay. So the next one is, are you even attracted to you? Are you attracted to yourself? Beyond just looks. Are you just attracted to yourself? Like, how can you want somebody to be attracted to you and you ain't even attracted to your own damn self?
Nah, that is, I love that. I never thought about that, but again, it goes back to self-confidence, right? So like if you love yourself, then you think you're attractive. Like I love being around me, meaning I love spending time with myself. I'm telling jokes all the time. Like I laugh, I giggle, I sing, I do all this stuff by myself. So that means that means if somebody is here, I'm gonna, man, anybody that spend time with me, really spend time with me, it's hilarious because I be practicing by myself. So yeah, I mean, going to that point, like you gotta really enjoy being by yourself and at times, and you really gotta enjoy, rocking out. So.
Okay.
That's right. So love you.
Love you all the way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely. Okay, Chrissy Moods. Yeah, I bet you do, Howard.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the people out here tonight. We have some interesting conversations in the chat room. Shout out to those Kappa men of Benedict College. They represent the night in the chat room. Shout out to the fellas for holding me down. I appreciate y'all for rocking.
KG says that's a good one. Can you be alone and not be lonely?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's it. And I ran from that for so many years. Like I didn't because I had a twin brother. I have a twin brother. Hey, was John, and we shared rooms until I graduated college. We were roommates. So I was just used to sharing space, sharing time, sharing clothes, cars, and everything. So once he got married, I had to learn how to be by myself. And I tried it and it was cool, but then I just started dating. And then when I didn't date, I was like, dang, I need somebody around. So I didn't get into my mid-30s, early 30s till I was cool with just being by myself. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't realize that your family structure, all that love sometimes makes you feel like you're codependent to have people around you all the time. And, it's definitely a privilege, but it puts you in a deficit of really being able to experience yourself and sit with your thoughts and see if you really like yourself, like going back to your previous statement.
Yes. Yes, Crystal. There are two Howards.
He is a
twin.
He is a whole
There are two.
But his twin is married.
It's my brother. Yeah, he's married. He's married.
Shoot your shot,
I try to call no problem.
This is a shoot your shot episode.
Look, slide in Howard's DM.
Howard is single.
Slide in his
Single and searching.
All right.
No makeup.
Listen. I'm gonna say this. Only pull up, if you feel like, my energy match your energy. You feel like, my level match your level, but just keep it at 1,000 because again, men do shoot shots out of the blue, shoot, half court shots or whatever sometimes at women. But most men know where they are and who they are. So they ain't gonna pull up on something they don't feel like they didn't qualify for. But so this ain't no lottery over here. Just keep it all the way 100.
Ooh. No lot. Listen, ladies, y'all heard them. Pull up. Y'all pull up. Listen, if y'all want to pull up, DMs, look, hit that camera plus button down at the bottom. You can pull up right now.
All right. So number 7. We on number 7. Be clear if you're in love with the idea of marriage or actually the person. Ooh.
Some people fantasize about being married. And not
the person,
and not really the reality of what it is.
Ooh, and what it takes. Ooh.
So, like, to respond to that, man, my mother told me, years ago, that you'll want to have a child when you meet somebody you want to create a child with. So that profound statement told me that the life that I want to have is going to be, once I meet that person, that's going to be a life that I want to have with that person. And that's when I'll take off and create those ideals. I think a lot of us are idealistic because it's cool to romanticize marriage and romance. I'm a hopeless romantic.
Absolutely.
But I used to be a hopeless romantic, but I'm hopeful romantic. So I'm hopeful that it can happen, but I'm not just, throwing shit out there just hoping it stick to the wall anymore. I used to be like most guys. I would try to, you know, be that nice guy to everybody. And by the time I met somebody, I was fatigued. And I was like, man, you know, who are you? And are you going to do this for me? And blah, blah, blah. And all this baggage. So, you know what I mean? Like we just got to, you know, kind of program ourselves differently to kind of, you know, think about, you know, being strategic and just being holistic. I mean, I go back to holistic. A lot of things that we're talking about, you know, you can't not have this and not have that. You can't have this and not have that. You got to be a whole person. And like, I want to push that on the wholeness of that person.
That's right.
I'm a little I'm too, so I'm making on a tangent.
No, you make your authentic self. You show up, okay? All right. So what's the next one? So the next one is, how do you treat others? Are you out here at restaurants going off on a waitress?
How you treat?
You out here in these streets like wilding out, like you acting one way with your lady,
like you have a nasty attitude.
Yeah, like how do you?
Because you can only mask that, but for so long.
Facts.
You know that nasty attitude. Because I personally, I'm not even a man, but I personally met some women that just have real bad attitude. Women that just have real bad attitudes.
Like they just.
I mean, listen. I had this conversation a little while ago. Well, I have it often with women. Like I talk about just being nice and being friendly and being personable and, you know, not always feeling like if a guy says, hey, I feel like you're being like, you know, a little harsh or mean or whatever, then you may want to take a step back and like, why does he feel like I'm being mean? Instead of saying, I ain't mean, or that's just how I am. Okay, cool. Men want something that's feminine, not masculine, and that's masculine energy. So I'm going the other way. That's a red flag. And sometimes I try to stay around and teach and show and be the guy that, you know, be patient and love them through their pain. That's bullshit. I didn't create it, so I'm not going to clean it up. And that's right. On you. I'm here for that. You know what I mean? But again, this is about evolution and evolving and knowing that, you know, this is not my issue. And this is really, you know, on that person. So, yeah, like, nah, we ain't playing that.
Okay. So the next one, nigga, do you have a whole career or are you even driven? Like, this month, you a whole electrician. Next month, you done scroll through Instagram and now you a gym buff.
I know, but
you go out here. Next month, you a whole chef. What's your career?
Stability in your career.
What you doing?
But again, like these questions are juvenile because we already assessed this shit like early on. And we already had this conversation in the first date. So again, if we got to this point, like here's the thing, we're teaching right now. We're not doing cliche shit. We're not, you know what I mean? We're not like doing stuff that's like polarizing. We're trying to teach. So if we already said first step to find who this person is, validate, vet, then we already eliminated that part of the conversation.
Not necessarily, because when I met you, you was a financier. You was a financial analyst. But the next month, you like, you know what, baby? I think I want to be a whole fitness analyst. I want to be in here showing people how to get their abs right. And then the following month, you saying, you know what? I want to quit my whole job and be a gynecologist.
Yeah.
Like every month, you a whole new career.
All right.
So I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I hear that.
We in our 30s.
I mean, I hear that, and I'm sorry, but like that still goes back to the vetting process. I'm sorry, I just can't get around that because, I mean, I get somebody change their career in a year or two, but I don't know, like I haven't met people that's changing careers every other month. Like,
I know folks that's changing careers every other month. Like they really out here like looking for the best. They're like serial entrepreneurs. Like they're looking for the next best thing.
Right.
So just stability in your career. We're just looking for stability. Are you driven? In your career.
But here's the thing. That whole driven thing, that's extra. Are you consistent? Are you steady? That's the baseline. Like we're skipping over that to get to driven. And if he's not driven, if he just wants to, you know, work for 30 years, retire, that's great. That's amazing. That means he has a future and he sees that he wants to be delayed gratification. He's not trying to hit a home run. Like driven is cool, but everybody's not driven. That's above average. Like average guys are great. This average, nice, consistent, come on every night, don't in the clubs, come to, you know what I mean? Like those guys are that. So you're talking about, again, we're going back to framing the community we're talking to and framing the guy we're trying to go after, the woman he's trying to go after. And the frame it says that we're trying to speak to a broader audience. So right now,
No,
it's
but
about.
all I'm saying is like pay attention to that joint, because like if you ain't stable in a whole career and your joint keep jumping every month, like okay, so next month, boo, I wanted something new.
Yeah, I mean, again, if I talk to somebody, you know, I'm 38 now, so I can really hear somebody and hear the gaps in what they're saying because I can just listen. So I think we listen more. Trajectory, like what were you doing before I met you, and what are you doing now? What are you trying to do? And you can hear like we're all intelligent. We have a privilege of education. We live in a DMV, so we know what a consultant is. We know what a freelance person is. We know these things, so you can hear the lies in somebody that they talking of. So just keep talking to them. Keep talking them up. Again, that happened before.
Because I mean, they can teach you some stuff, and then next month they're like, you know what? I kind of thought.
And then it could be like all the while their whole intention is really not to work anyway.
Facts.
They just hopping from job to job just to, keep
right.
And then they get with you and they like, no, you're supposed to pay all my bills because I really don't want to work.
I want to be a stay-at-home dad. Dad.
I mean, but listen, if he wants to be a stay-at-home dad, then that's that dynamic for that relationship. I can't judge those kind of men because I have friends who are stay-at-home fathers and they're amazing.
Yeah,
so,
but
you know what I mean? Like what we're doing, like
don't come fooling me. Don't come with no tomfoolery.
I get it, but right now, I think, and this is fun. We can do this all night, but I think we're talking about polarizing, situations that aren't as common as we think they are.
No, but I think that we need to cover all surfaces.
Okay,
right?
Let's see. We got some comments here. Bashay Williams. Hello, thank you for joining us, sir. People fall in love with the goal as opposed to dating the person they're with until it's too late. KG says, the women in here really meet men out here cycling jobs at 35 plus?
Yes, they are.
Let's see. Kendra, so you're saying by the time you want this sandwich, both sides should have gone through the vetting process and be giving 100% of yourself because you should have answered all of these questions. That's exactly what he's saying.
No, but he hasn't gotten a sandwich. He's gone on several days.
She said by the time you want to get the sandwich. So you're saying by the time you want this sandwich, both sides should have gone through this vetting process and be giving 100% of yourself.
Listen,
oh, he wants
the
sandwich.
Oh
no, girl.
No, I want the sandwich right now because I can figure you out.
That's what I said. He wants the sandwich up front, girl.
Yeah, like
he sandwich throughout the whole time.
He was several dates, and he's like, "Look, nigga, give me this sandwich."
Yeah.
Like, show
and
me
here's
what
the thing,
you're working with.
and I want to define what this metaphor sandwich is, right? So the metaphor sandwich is find a way to make me feel how it made you feel when I fed you.
Thank you, Howard.
If it's a cupcake, if it's a cup of coffee, if it's tea, if it's Uber Eat, whatever it is.
Reciprocity.
That's it. So like when we talk about, and it may not be food. It may be if this person made sure my car was washed, then let me go make sure surprise him and get his shoe shined. That's $2. The car wash is $50. It's not about money. It's about energy. It's about effort.
That's right.
It's about thoughtfulness. Those women. I know women. Like I have friends that I have friends of my friends have dated. Women took all their shoes and got them shined as a surprise to them.
That was nice.
Because every time they go out, they want to be clean, and so she appreciates that. But she invests in him. Like, man, if a woman, I'm learning this, and I'm learning this quickly, and I learned it late, but I'm seeing it quick. If a woman's not willing to invest in you, if she's not willing to feed you, she's not willing to do what you would do for her, run, because she sees damage. You know why? Because we all pay bills. We all got things we got to take care of. So she know my money is the same money she got. So if I'm doing this, she said, okay, cool. How here's a fucking pack of bubble gum. Like, here, have a nice day, whatever the case is. But do something that's decent. Like we're not out here playing Cinderella. Like we're trying to build, we're trying to grow.
What do you want?
Facts. I mean, I will say this to that point. As a married woman, and when I was dating,
Cedric, they out here meeting some. Yeah, the Cedric. Yeah, man, they cycling jobs. I don't know these guys.
They are cycling jobs. This is what I was going to say to that point about the sandwich and reciprocity and doing for him like he's doing for you. Men pull that out of women, right? Now, I'm not going to speak for all women. I'm just going to speak for myself because of
go back. I want to be clear. You said pull what out of women? Men pull what?
Let me explain. So when I was dating, men that treated me well pulled out of me the to treat them well, right? I wanted to do more. I wanted to show up. I wanted to surprise. I wanted to give. I wanted to do all of these things. The better they treated me, the better I treated them. That was just who I was as a woman. Now, I get that everybody is not that woman, but that's who I was when I was dating, right? So if I'm dating you and you treated me very well and you did great things for me, I was doing better and I was doing more for you. Facts. And so even now, being married with my husband, you know, he does a lot of great things for me, and I do a lot of great things for him. So it is reciprocity in it. And I will say that the level
as a man, as a wife, is reciprocity.
Absolutely.
Right, but
absolutely.
But it was like that when you were courting, right?
Absolutely.
That's why your wife.
Oh. Thank you, Howard, for that confirmation. But what I was going to say is that there's levels to it. Like the things that I do now for him as my husband is not the things that I was doing as a girlfriend.
Absolutely, because you didn't know him like that.
Okay, but that's another point that I wanted to make, is that I think that women sometimes feel like they're doing all of this stuff, like why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free type of thing. Like, why do all of this?
Nah, that's bullshit. Cap. Ain't no buying no cow because the guy is spending money on. Come on, y'all. Let's not do this.
Nah, bruh.
Nah.
No. It's
levels. It's levels to this. Like, you ain't about to be out here giving all of this.
All of what? All of what? All of what? All of what? All of what?
I'm gonna let her explain her point of view.
Explain it. Please explain it.
All of what? There's levels to this. Like, there's dating. I give you this when I'm dating you. I'm a cook for you when I'm dating you. Yes, I will do that for you. But there's certain things that I'm not gonna do for you until I get married to you.
Like
right?
What? Tell me.
What are you doing when you get married that's different from what you're doing when you're dating?
I can't tell those secrets. But
okay, cool. Okay, are you ready? Can you talk about sex? Pull sex off the table. What else can you do? What's you gonna do for him outside of sex that you want to do for him as a girlfriend? I'm listening.
So I would definitely cook for you before I'm married to you.
Okay.
I would definitely like do certain things. We depending on the person, because we gonna talk about that, because it's a chemistry thing. But I have to vibe with you to know what it is that I would do for you before I marry you. It's subjective. It's definitely
no. You going around the answer. The answer is, and someone asked the question in the chat. They said, "What are you doing differently as a wife as a girlfriend that you're not gonna do that you're gonna do?"
It's a little vulgar. So
okay, again, don't talk about sex, and that's lazy.
So
that's lazy. That is lazy. That's no effort to talk about.
No, it's no effort, because I'm putting in my effort up front. But then it's
but you keep going to sex.
No, I'm not going to sex.
You said vulgar.
Like, for instance, like, I'm not about to co-sign on a whole car.
You said vulgarity. You said vulgarity.
No. Okay, so outside of sex, but outside of that, financially, like, I'm not about to co-sign for a house or a car for you prior to marriage.
So we're not signing no rental lease agreements. We're not.
A rental agreement. Listen, again.
This is like my
you ready? I'm gonna tell you on the other side. I can name 4 friends from high school. Four groups from high school. They dated after they graduated. They bought homes together as girlfriend and boyfriend. And when they broke up, they sold the home and had equity. What are you talking about? What I'm saying is, we think differently in our community. No, we think differently in our community because
like, I had a whole horror, like a girlfriend of mine. She had a whole horror story. Like, she's co-signed on a car for a dude that she was dating. She was in a relationship with.
That was foolish. That was foolish. These are foolish decisions. I think we're talking about grade level stuff. When we having a college conversation, it's like elementary school. I'm not signing nothing with my social security number for nobody. I don't think none of us are signing social. I never had to put my social security number down for anybody I've dated. I've treated.
It's happening. It is happening.
Thank you,
Howard. It is happening.
I get it because, again, and those are foolish mistakes, and you shouldn't do that. That's it.
Okay. But it is happening.
Yeah. But going back to the things that you would do as a wife that you want to do as a girlfriend, because that man is doing everything he's going to do as a husband. He's doing it for you while he's courting. He's taking you out. Let me finish. I'm gonna finish. He's taking you out on trips. He's buying you gifts. He's maybe buying your friends dinner. he's doing everything as a boyfriend because you're not going to want him if you don't do it. Come on, yo, that's not fair.
I will match everything you're doing.
But you just said you literally just said you are not going to do wife things, but he's doing husband things. He's
I will do wife things for you. If you're matching everything I'm matching, I'm doing this exact same thing.
But you're going back to a matching thing. And if you got to match, then that person isn't for you. If you feel like you got to match, like it's crazy because the baseline for men is so the expectation for men is so high, but